It started with a letter taped to my door in bold red font notice of HOA violation unauthorized. Use of garage space. At first I thought it was a joke. I live in a quiet cul-de-sac and I've never had a single complaint in 5 years. But when I read further, I realized the HOA was dead serious. According to the complaint, I was improperly using residential property for industrial or non-residential purposes. Their evidence, the sirens, the bright red truck, and the foot traffic coming in and out at odd hours, what the HOA failed to understand or even bother to research was that my garage is a registered emergency response station. In fact, it's the only operational fire substation in this area. I'm not just a homeowner, I'm also a firefighter and EMT, and our station was built into my property as part of a community partnership years ago when the city couldn't fund a full-scale firehouse for our growing neighborhood. The HOA president, a particularly intense man named Gerald, sent follow-up emails demanding I cease all fire-related activity and threatened daily fines unless I vacated the garage within 30 days. He accused me of running a private enterprise. Even though all of our operations are nonprofit and city-authorized, I invited him to tour the facility. He declined, saying it wasn't his job to inspect violators, but things reached absurd heights when the HOA actually showed up during an emergency drill. We were simulating a fire response when Gerald stormed in shouting about his jurisdiction. That's when he crossed the yellow line, literally, and triggered the fire suppression system by yanking open a hazardous material locker. The sprinklers soaked him head to toe, and I had to have him escorted out by the police, not for trespassing, but for endangering a training exercise. The city stepped in within 24 hours. A council member issued a public statement reaffirming our right to operate on the premises. Our garage firehouse had responded to over 180 calls in the past year alone, including a nearby electrical fire that Gerald conveniently forgot we had contained within minutes. The HOA's threats were dismissed as overreach. Gerald tried to backpedal, claiming he didn't know, but the city records were crystal clear. This garage had been zoned as a substation long before Gerald moved in. Now, we've got a new sign above the garage engine. 13 Community. First, and right under it, taped for irony's sake, is a laminated copy of that original HOA notice, just to remind us that sometimes the biggest emergencies come in khakis with clipboards.